So a quick little update on the markets. Silver, gold, GDX, GDXJ, plus also SIL, SILJ. Also be looking at the indexes as well too. And also I'm going to be sharing with you the number one secret. There's one secret that you can follow if you choose to accept, that will have your chances of you doing really well in the markets 90 times fold. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so if you like these videos, then leave the comment below, I love trading. Leave that comment below. I love trading. If you enjoy these updates and these videos that I do, and hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the like button, and guys, if you haven't done so yet, I don't know when the trading course, the free trading course I'm giving away, is going to end, but I normally do charge for that trading course, but I'm just giving it away for free. So if you haven't done so yet, go to johnsfreegift.com, and grab that course there. Moving on now to let's actually start with the indices first, and I'll get onto the other markets there as well too. The one thing that I mentioned in the last couple of videos is that we are seeing this head and shoulder formation right now. Okay, so we've got a lower high and we're breaking down past these previous lows. So one, the buyers are no longer making these high lows, so the buyers are not in control. But on a short-term basis, the sellers are starting to come in right now. But if we have a look at what's really going on here, we can see that if I go to my weekly chart, you can clearly see that we've been in this big bull market and this big bull trend. So even though on a daily perspective, this daily chart here, we might be getting a little bit of a rollover. This just could be a bit of a sideways movement and a continued sideways movement before we see the election. So that's what I'm seeing through there right now when I'm looking at this Dow Jones chart through here. Once again, guys, big move up, and then we're having just a little of a pullback, and we almost made the high here in the Dow Jones. So that tells me we'll probably have a really good chance, even if we do, and we still can have a bit of a move to the downside from here. So we still could actually have a bit of a move to the downside from here, but I believe it's likely to be short-lived. Now what I mean by that is that if we get down to 25,000, it's probably, it's going to be likely to be short-lived there. Now, with that being said, guys, here's the number one mistake that you're making right now. You'll watch this update, and if you are bullish right now, say for example you're long Dow Jones, right? You're in the Dow Jones right now and you're bullish. Whether it's, you might be in the DIA, right? The ETF there. And then you'll hear me say something like that. Like, I believe that this is going to be very short-lived and we're likely to continue up from here. You would take that as gospel, like we definitely won't be going up. Sorry, we definitely won't be going down much. And up is likely to happen, so it's all good. I'm just going to stay long. I feel so much better being long this market. That is the wrong approach to these markets. Whenever you get into a trade, you need to have a level where you're going to get out for a loss and for a profit. See, it shouldn't matter what I say. Who gives a shit what I say about these markets? Because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know whether silver and gold's going to go up tomorrow or whether it's going to go down tomorrow. No one knows. But we can have a probability basis, right? So if you are in a trade right now, regardless of what you are in, then it's so important that when you're in there, you say, okay, if it gets down here, then I'm out for a loss. Not that I'm just going to hold and hope and pray and all that sort of stuff. No. When the time's to get out, the time is to get out. Moving on now through to the S&P 500. The S&P 500 has already made a clear major higher high. So this could just be a little bit of a pullback before we continue seeing more upward move from here. And the same for the Nasdaq as well too. Just a very strong move. So a bit of a pullback here, guys, is likely to happen. And as you can see, we're just getting a very weak pullback. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we just started to see a bit of a sideways movement overall, guys, before the election happens. Up a little bit, down a little bit before the election goes on through there. Moving on now through to silver and gold, and pretty much a nothing day when it comes to gold. My update that I did yesterday, I'm still very bullish long-term gold, but you listen to what I'm saying here, guys, you gold bucks, okay? It doesn't mean that we can't start to drop, and if we drop, we actually could head all the way down to this 19 or this 1750 level, which is my long-term support level through here. So please don't be getting it. Please don't be saying, well, I'm going to stay in because John said it's probably likely to go up. No, don't do that, guys, right? I don't know what's going to happen, but you've got to get into the market. Get in based on an entry signal, not just, well, it's definitely going to go up, so let me get in now. Wrong. Okay, and moving on now through to silver as well too. Silver, a bit of a drop to the downside. We're starting to get a little bit of a flattening of the moving average, so we're starting to slow here. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see it stay in this triangle pattern for at least another few weeks or more before we break. I do see more upside coming in silver overall, but we still could be getting down towards this trend line through there as well too. So still squeezing up into the triangle pattern. Moving on now through to the GDXJ, and you can see that we're still out of this channel through here, and also the same for the GDX. You can see it actually hit the top of the channel up here, and we're at the bottom of this some sort of a channel through here. We've hit resistance, and now we've actually broken down. So that's going to be really interesting to see whether we do hold here. If we can get back above and then back above 44, this little level through here, that'll actually be a bit of a key to say, okay, now it's given us even more of a probability of breaking up. If we do get something, guys, this is the if scenarios, okay? If we do get something like this and we get back above 44 and we hold here, this little break to the outside of this channel is telling us that this move is much more high probability than just holding through here. And moving on now through to the SIL, same sort of thing. We've broken out. What happens here? Do we just continue going sideways before we break back up again? Really interesting. This channel through here is much more evident than the GDX. You can see it's we can see bouncing through here, through there, all through there, all through there, and now we've just broken to the downside from there. And then also we can see the same sort of thing with the SIL as well too. So I love these patterns, guys, because these patterns give us a really it can give us a good probability of what may or may not happen. Now, what I mean by that is this: we're right now, if I just look at this, we're in a bit of a sideways range resting phase, what I call an energy building phase. But if I overlay amazing analysis like drawing trend lines, ow, I got a stitch. I did boxing this morning with my coach for an hour. Actually, I was in. I go to a gym where it's got a UFC octagon in there, and I was doing some pad work and some kickboxing on the pads. So kickboxing on the bags as well too, and just amazing. But man, I'm sore right now, especially got a stitch. So we can see that this actually is broken to the downside. So once again, guys, if you've seen my gold and silver updates, you would know that this level through here, actually, let me just do this. This level, this breakout, this actually could be some sort of a breakout before we see a downward move. Now, this is the big if scenarios, okay? The big F scenario is this. If we hold here, okay, if we do, and we rally and we get back above, and especially get above this 50 level, easy, John. Come on. Keep your hands still when you're drawing the trend lines. There we go, like that, okay? If we can get something like that, or even if we get something like that, or even maybe could be maybe even something like this where, we do something like this, and then we start to get something like that, get it back above this trend line. There's a few amazing things that are happening here. One, this here is a low. This here would be classed as a what? A higher low. Major upward trend on that weekly chart. We're in an energy building phase right now, which is just resting. after every energy building phase generally becomes a moving phase, a directional phase. Energy building phase generally then starts to produce a directional phase. Now, we never know it's going to be up or down, but the market doesn't just go sideways. We generally do break out and start to go for a move. So we're in that there now. And then secondly, we start to see this false breakout could be the catalyst for another big move to come, especially in the silver miners. So guys, as you can see, I'm just going based on the patterns. And in that free trading course, the very first link in the description or link in the comment section there, go grab the free trading course, guys. You're going to help you. Especially that first video, the bullseye method, you're going to absolutely love that. So as you can see, right, it's based on these patterns, and this false breakout, if we can get back above the 50 level, that even gives us an even more of a high probability. See, if we just held here and then we actually broke to the upside like that, like something like that, then yeah, we have a probability getting to the upside. But due to the fact we actually fell out, and then now the question mark is if we can get what I just said there, where we get back above the channel and back above this resistance line here and get back above here, yeah, we may have a little bit of a pullback here, but ultimately we're likely to head probably back up towards the 60 to the 62 level if we can get back above the 50 level. Do you see what I'm saying there? So all I'm doing, and this is the number one key to your success, guys, the number one key to your success is always reading the market and then responding to it. I'm reading the market right now. My response is, okay, we're getting this breakout. That doesn't mean it's a trade for me, but I'm listening to the market and I'm responding. So there's nothing here right now, but I know in the back of my mind, this pattern here, if we do get the break above the 50 level again, that's going to say this is a little bit of a false breakout to the downside, which is now a lot more of a bullish pattern. And then if we do get back above there, that's now me listening and responding. So, okay, this is what the market's doing. Make sense, guys? So the number one thing to do is what we call listening and responding. Listening to the market, no matter what your view is, and responding to the markets. Now, what is responding to the markets? This is number one. Number two, responding to the market just simply means, what pattern are you after? What are the patterns? See, I have a pattern that I trade, and it gives me a really high win-loss ratio when the pattern forms 100% exactly what I'm looking for. So that's the pattern that I'm looking for. So that's me responding to the market. It's not me just saying, oh, well, I definitely know this is going to be a false breakout. I'm going to go long here anyway because I know it's going to be a false breakout. It's going to go up anyway and blah, 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 blah. Story. No, I don't know that. This could actually just head straight back down to 36 from here. So I don't know anything. All I do know is that I'm just listening and responding and then also trading my pattern. So if you enjoyed today's little update, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, click bell buttons and all that sort of down home country goodness, guys. And guys, go get that free trading course right now.